BOSS Bossman Radio.
Studio C. Two guys who ask, wonder what they're doing in T-Town right now. Not this. It's South Alabama's #1 podcast, Drive Time with DJ and KJ.
Good Monday morning, and welcome back. Drive Time brought to you by Jim Peach Motors and Peach Chevrolet. Good morning, Hot Rod. Jesse James in. Good morning to you. O'Clax in. Good morning, O. Lisa McGraw, Joe Beasley, Nick Green. Good morning. Sherry Weaver, good morning to you. Becky Whitfield's in, good morning. Patty, good morning. Tracy Steele, good morning. Fran Taylor, Amanda Henry, Daniel Smith, good morning. Matt Carter, Dana Carver as well is in, good morning. Leroy's in, good morning, Lee, up in D-Mop. Raj is in, aloha. Carol Crosby's in, good morning to you. Good morning, Amanda Gwynn. Jordan Rowland, good morning. Dwayne King, good morning. And Kenwood, back from the dead.
Back.
Glad you're feeling better, man.
Dug up out of that grave.
Man.
And,
will it knock you down or will it knock you down?
It'll knock you down. You need to be careful with that flu. If you start to get it, go on to the doctor immediately.
Don't mess around.
Don't wait. Don't do any of that stuff because it's not good. It's not good at all. But enough about me. Glad to be back. Thanks everybody for checking in on me while we were out. And good morning, Timmy Wiggins said he's out of Facebook jail.
That's always good to hear.
Yeah, that's good. But anyway, good morning to you, DJ, and glad to be back in the driver's seat, so to speak, this morning.
Got a question for you.
Okay.
How about them Canes?
How about them Canes?
Went up on the plains and laid it down.
But I'm gonna tell you what, they went up there, got it done. Great looking scene out there with a lot of people from Flomaton, Alabama, and this community, the Dirty 30.
Did you see the pictures of the crowd that was there?
Man.
Cheering for the Canes?
I mean, it was
amazing.
It was.
It was amazing.
It really was. What was amazing? What was more amazing was, the not just people from Flomaton, but all kind of people from the community that showed up there that you could see in the bleachers as the camera would pan around, that kind of thing. I'll tell you one thing: if money isn't the player of the year or whatever you want, I don't know what else to say about that guy.
They need to quit handing it out.
Yeah.
If they don't hand it to that young man, they need to quit handing it out.
It's no good.
53 total touchdowns, over 4,000 yards. That's just on offense. That doesn't include the contributions he made on defense. He had an interception in that championship game Thursday.
Yeah,
but he's done a lot for him. Of course, he's only one of the really good players on that team. But
good morning, Lordy.
If they're going to recognize individual performances with the 3A back of the year, he's got to win that.
He's got to.
He's got to win it.
I mean, I don't know how anybody else could. Good morning, Ashley.
And he's just a junior.
Yeah, he's coming back.
He's coming back.
All right. So what about the other two, Odom and?
Odom was questionable. He was a game-time decision to play, caught a deep pass early in that ball game, caught everything that was near him. He had 70 or 80 yards worth of receiving, of course, made the contributions on defense as well, and Shunny did what he does. And, of course, they all do. I mean, they have a good football team. We talked about that. Those are the guys who get their name called more than most. But the Bass kid that plays linebacker, Jennifer Parker's son's a good player at tight end for them. They've got a bunch of pieces up there. And Coach Vickery, to see him in the press conference, I don't know if you had a chance to watch that after the game.
I did.
That was awesome. And you could tell that the emotions had hit him just right. It was nice to see him. He was good enough to come with us that one morning here. Yep. We need to get him back, by the way, and recognize that championship. But so excited for the Flomaton community, Flomaton High School, the Dirty 30 in general. Saw a lot of W.S. Neal paraphernalia at the stadium. Saw a lot of T.R. Miller paraphernalia at the stadium. There was a lot of people supporting the Canes Thursday, and that was nice to see.
Should have been. And I'll tell you what, they brought the blue map back to the Dirty 30 for the first time in a long time for football.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And it's funny because
and their first one ever.
And first in football. They've won one in baseball, won one in softball, but their first football blue map, of course, those were one in 2A. But I was thinking about Flomaton and them winning it, being on Highway 31. Last year, Evergreen won it in 3A. They're on Highway 31. We've won a handful. We're, of course, on 31. Flomaton's won theirs. Atmore's won a couple down through the years. They're on 31. So some of this 31 corridor needs to be renamed Championship Highway.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. I don't know. Who do we need to get on the phone with the state to tell them to do that?
We start with Alan Baker.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. We need to do that.
Championship Highway.
Yeah, I actually like that. I think Coach Baker, if you happen to be listening or watching, you need to hear that.
And that's just in football. I mean, you think about the girls' basketball championships that have been won. The softball, we mentioned that a moment ago. Escambia Academy won a championship. They're on 31 as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need to maybe get that moving.
I'll tell you what, that's a strong case to be made right there, isn't it?
Hey.
And listen, in as much as we talk about football and we're talking about the Canes and that kind of thing, what about that comeback win? I mean, the number one team in the nation proved why they were the number one team in the nation.
And I'm going to say this, because I try to be fair.
Ago.
I try to be fair. A mark of a champion is when you can overcome adversity. You know, you expect good players, you expect good teams to perform well when things are going their way. But when you have adversity hit you in the face, you lose your starting quarterback, the ball's not bouncing your way, and you can somehow still bring it together and get it done on a national stage, there's something to be said for that.
It's something to be said.
And to be to be behind by double digits, multiple scores. I think it was 14 or 17 points. I can't remember what it was. But to come back and get it done when you have to get it done, it doesn't make a rip if you can do it 99 times out of 100. Do it that one time when all the chips are on the table and you got to get it done. And anybody who questioned UCF being number one prior to that comeback, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
You ought to be ashamed.
Winning.
Backup quarterback.
Winning.
Playing a national powerhouse like Memphis University.
Winning.
And to get it done, that's amazing.
Winning.
That's all they do, man. They win.
That's all they do.
And now they're going to get a chance.
I've been laughed at for having them number one the entire year.
And they're going to get a chance to put that on display against the Bengal Tigers, are they not?
I think they'll beat them by 20.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think so. So I think so. I think they're going to get it done. I can't wait for Top 5 Tuesday tomorrow.
Man.
I mean, I just can't wait on that. I mean, strong comeback win for the number one team in the country.
You can mark all the boxes with UCF. They've done it all.
I mean, they've got it all. They've done it all. I mean, what are they on? About a 25, 26 game winning streak? 27?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it was 13 last year, and they're sitting on 12 now. Yeah, 25, 26 game winning streak.
Yeah. So
longest in the country.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for that. Is it not?
I think so.
Yeah, I do too. So, I tell you what, another thing that I want to touch on real quick, since we're talking about football, is we got a car to give away.
Yes, we do. That contest is over. We have all the sheets. We have a winner. What we are doing now is just going back and recount. It's close. I'm telling you, it was so close that I was nervous how close it was, to be honest with you. There's one game that separates first and second, another game second and third, another game third and fourth, and another game fourth through fifth. So we have gone back. We've taken all those people. We're making sure we have it. We have copies of all the sheets. People can see them if they want them. We have them at the office. We're going to do an audit on that just to make sure we have it right. And then later this week, one afternoon, we're going to contact the winner and make that presentation. And I can tell you, that person's going to be excited when they get the keys handed to them of what they've just won.
They really are.
It's amazing.
They really
That's going to be fun.
They are going to be excited. And, I'm glad that a lot of people played in that. Yeah. Down to the very end, too. I mean, it was fun. There was a lot of people in that. So, we do appreciate everybody playing and having a good time, and hope to do some more stuff like that in the future coming up. And, of course, we got Christmas just right around the corner. And, man, you believe that in about, 20, 21 days, it's going to be January 1 of 2019.
2018 is going to be in the books.
You believe that? I mean, has this year flown by, or is it just me?
No, it's flown by. It's flown by.
I mean, it is crazy how fast this year has just flown by. So, Matt Carter wants to know how much toilet paper you caught in the parade, DJ.
I didn't catch any. I wasn't, a little ashamed to say, I wasn't in attendance. I was in Dallas County.
Well, there you go. I can't too much blame you for that.
So,
yeah. Did you do any good?
I did not. Saw some, had a good time, but in terms of tagging out, there'll be another day.
How about the one you went on Thursday?
Man, I want to tell you that. Let me tell you something.
Dog hunting.
Thursday.
Still something to be said for that.
I hadn't done that in a long time. Forgot how much fun it is. Coach Dickey and I went down. I'll tell you, Thursday morning about 6:30, sitting on the back of a pickup truck going 45 miles an hour for about a little 2-mile jaunt down the blacktop. That'll wake you up. It was cold.
I was going to say,
but it was fun.
There's something to be said for that, isn't it?
Yeah. It was, had 2 good drives, a lot of deer killed, a couple of nice ones killed. And then had a nice catered lunch, barbecue and potato salad, all the fixings. It was good.
I can't ever get this right. I ought to have it right. You might have said this. Did you kill anything?
I did not. I had a chance to shoot a small buck and chose not to. It was not one that I would have felt good about pulling the trigger on. I'm not sure that he'll make it throughout the year, but I had him in the kill zone, in the kill range, and I let him go.
Didn't you tell me that you let a couple walk by you?
I did. They didn't walk by the next guy.
That's what I was about to say.
I had one at 10
I don't think
steps.
they made it past that other guy, did they?
I had one at 10 steps, and I said, nah, I'm not going to take it. Not going to take the opportunity. The deer went down the next stand down, and I watched a homicide take place. He blew her in the next week.
Oh, man. So a lot of deer hunting week before last and
weekend. Being outside. Yeah, it was great. Of course, when the rain came, that moved everybody inside Saturday.
Yeah. Raj, just admit you misfired, DJ.
Well, I'm not a good shot. I'm not ashamed to say that, but didn't get a chance this weekend. Speaking of misfiring, how about the Heisman?
Oh.
I thought the right guy won.
I did too. I'm gonna say this, and people probably may agree or not agree with this, but how Alabama fans couldn't be Jalen Hurts fans anymore is beyond me.
Well, that's my whole thing. Do you know what Alabama's record would be if Jalen Hurts was the starting quarterback?
The same.
13-0. I mean, you pull up the highlight tapes. These receivers, about half their catches are one-handed catches. So how good are the passes is my question. I mean, you just throw it around them, they're going to catch it. But you take Kyler Murray off Arizona, and they're a 3-win ball club.
Yeah. No doubt.
And he's a better baseball player.
I don't know that. Look at Raj, fan vote had 2. Well, that's because all you Bammers vote 6 and 8, 10, 15 times a piece. I mean, that ain't hard to figure out right there, Raj. I mean, put a phone on redial.
I sent on my news feed anyway, I sent a text out to a couple of my Albies, and I said, I can't wait to see the first Bammer that puts up the tombstone meme about I'm coming and I'm bringing it over the Heisman thing.
Comes.
And Bubba Crutchfield won it. He dang sure did. You tell him I'm coming.
I'm glad he did.
And Tua's coming with me.
I'm glad he did.
He won it.
I'm glad he did that. Speaking of boots and cleats. Man.
Come on, man. Man.
I was so sick last week, man, but all I can remember is a redhead coming in and said, I'm going to kill DJ. I'm going to kill him.
Burnham had made a comment the day after the Christmas parade that he was coming down to ride on the drive time float and wanting to know everybody was grouping up. So I sent him out to the River Bridge. Now we were going to be at the New River Bridge.
Right.
And we'd be right behind Miss Peavy's Twirl Stars. Look for the big batons and the white boots.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm going to pay for that. I had a feeling.
Yeah, I think you probably will.
I had a shot, so I took it.
You definitely did. And I guarantee you're probably going to pay for that one. So, I knew she was in there listening. Here she is. Oh, no, it's on. That was good, though. Cleats. That was the tallest cleats I've ever seen. I ain't gonna lie. Oh man. Matt Carter. No, I don't think so, Matt. I don't think so. Speaking of Flomaton and the Hurricanes, we were talking about this before we went live. Do they come down and do they do a presentation of the blue map to the school, or has that already been done, or did that happen at the game when they did that live? Is that the presentation? Or?
I think that's probably the presentation. I don't know that. I know, way back when it was new to everybody, they would come to the school and make an official presentation at an assembly or whatever, like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm thinking the way they do it now there at midfield, that might have been the official presentation, but I don't know that.
Well, if they didn't, I don't know if they've had ticker tape parades down at Flomaton in a while, but I think it's time for one.
Yeah. Shoot, yeah.
I mean,
did you see the send-off? Did you see when the fire trucks and the police were leading them out of town? That kind of set the tone for me on Wednesday.
It looked like that most of Flomaton had shut down, the business-wise, to go to the game. And they should have. Oh, and they did. Yeah, no doubt. And they definitely did. But was that Chief Stanton on the sideline? Yeah. I thought so. Yeah. I thought so. I meant to ask you that, and I never thought to ask, but I thought it was. So
yeah. Good morning, Kimberly.
Yeah. So there's Monica Williams. Good morning, Monica.
Girl, thanks.
Pup. Good morning, Pup. Mary Jo DiErno. Good morning to you.
Classmate of mine.
Chef Adam. Good morning, Chef Adam. Meredith Campbell. Good morning, Meredith. Debo.
Debo.
Yeah, good to be back too, Adam, for sure. So what else has been what else been going on besides Tua Tagovailoa, the fan money on favorite, who didn't get to make that walk up there and grab that Heisman?
Should have played better.
Will he even have a chance to next year? Is there going to be a quarterback controversy going into this game coming up?
I'm not sure he's even the starter anymore. Is he?
I'm asking.
What would you do?
I'm gonna tell you something. It would be hard to put him back in and start him over Hurts when Hurts come in and played so well.
Game.
He did.
Played a perfect game.
He did.
The touchdown pass he threw was as good a pass as you can throw. Anybody. Joe Montana, Roger Staubach, anybody.
It was. I mean, and you know, what he threw that third down pass that kept him going. Yeah. I
mean, I don't know.
They say he can't throw.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
You put that guy on the sidelines?
No. But I'm going to tell you this. Tua's got to worry about it because his brother's coming up there next year to Bama.
Well, Central Phoenix City didn't have any problems with him.
They sure didn't, did they? But now, first thing everybody said is he was hurt. He was hurt. He was hurt.
Oh. Okay.
That's all I've heard from everybody is he was hurt. He was hurt.
Well, they scored their lone touchdown after he came out.
Yeah. And Central Phoenix City made them not look good at all.
Now, I'll be honest with you, that surprised me.
Surprised me too.
Thompson was as hot a football team as there was.
I'm going to tell you what surprised me, and going back to that Flomaton game, I was surprised at how sloppy Piedmont played.
6 turnovers.
I mean, I know Flomaton had, 3 or 4 turnovers?
I think they had 3. I think 3.
So
2 or 3.
I realizing, a little sloppy on both sides of the ball, but way more sloppy on the Piedmont side. And, Piedmont was hyped up, basically come in there and win that game, were they not? I mean, weren't they the favorite to win?
Piedmont was probably the favorite to win that. But like I said, we had talked about it from weeks before, there was not a dominant team in 3A. I think you might could have played this thing 7 different times and maybe had 7 different winners.
Yeah.
Flomaton got hot, and we talked about it here. When you think you can win, that's a lot of it, man. And they certainly had confidence in each other. And they had a year for the books, to say the least.
And what's his name was kicking the field goals too. Was it Odom?
Odom made the field goal to start the game.
Yeah,
that was their first score.
And then he made the couple PATs and then missed one. Did he? He not?
Did. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they missed a field goal. Piedmont did earlier, and I don't know. I'll tell you what, that was a.
Did you watch any of the Viger Saraland game?
Some, yes.
That game started off like kind of as a dud. Like there wasn't a whole lot going on.
Didn't end that way.
No. Might have been the best game of the weekend. Probably was the best game of the weekend.
Yeah.
43-42 or 44-43 was the final.
Yeah. Was it that was Viger and you said, was it Saraland?
Saraland.
Yeah. How does Viger and Saraland get into it over from? I thought they'd be in the same region.
It wasn't. No, it was Viger and Clay County.
That's right.
Clay County.
That's it. It. That was the week before.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And that game turned into something pretty quick.
Crazy, man.
Well, I say pretty quick. Towards the end of the game, it got crazy. And what about UMS? Just going in there and
a private school machine,
just blowing it out.
Severy says though that it's fair. That it's a level playing field.
How's that fair?
Level playing field.
Yeah. Did you see any of those commercials? Anything he did during the game?
I did not.
Oh man, I'm
not a big fan.
It was it wasn't good. Wasn't good. Clay Central,
yeah.
Well, Raj is on it this morning.
What's Raj upset
talking about? A miracle by Drake down in Miami, and then talking about Newton losing this past. I mean, I guess he's talking about Kenyon Drake. Former Bammer.
He was on that Kick 16.
He was. That's what I remember about him. I don't think he was on the field.
But he didn't make the tackle.
Yeah. He sure didn't. Oh, man. And what about the game where they couldn't get the playoff there? 4 or 5 seconds left to go, and they run out there, not realize they didn't have any timeouts. They didn't realize the clock was going to start on go, and when it did, he run out and they lost the game.
What game was that?
Was it the one right after? Was it the one before?
This is a Super 7 game.
Yeah. Okay. Was it the one before the Viger game? Who was that?
I think the one before the Viger game was maybe Mars Hill and Linden, but that was not a close game.
No, this was a close game, and
maybe
that's what it was. They come out, like I said,
I didn't see that.
About 4 or 5 seconds left in the game, and they thought the clock wasn't going to start until they snapped the ball, and they started the clock, run right out. They never even run a play. So, a lot of let me ask this too: do they swap around like when they play different different divisions games? Like next year, will the 2A game be first? And do they change that every year? How that works?
I think it's slotted. I think they have it now where the 3A game will always be on Thursday to 11. Okay. I think what they try to do is try to even out the crowds. So they put the smaller classification between two of the bigger schools to try to have a good crowd for the second game, maybe. I'm not positive on that, but I think that's what they tried to do. The 7A game, of course, is on Wednesday to try to get people in town to watch that one, then, of course, carry over and stay and watch the rest of them.
Viger let the time run out. That's who it was. Yeah. Viger. That's why I was sitting there thinking they come out there, and I couldn't remember if it was a Viger game or not, but I remember they run out there, it had 4 or 5 seconds left. They just let the clock go. And they had one more play they could have run. So, How about them Canes there, Chief?
Chief.
Yeah, that's what we said earlier. How about those Canes? Getting it done. I heard them say, the girl that interviewed Coach Vickery, I didn't realize he was a Flomaton guy. Said he was from Flomaton.
I don't know that I realized that either.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she said that. Maybe I misheard it. I was sick. I'm not going to lie to you.
And there's something that was sent to me, and I need to make mention of that because I said that I would.
Oh, and Jennifer Parker says to remind everybody to go vote for Flomaton. Link has been posted a few times throughout the Drive Time page.
Yeah. Need to get that done.
What is that for?
They're trying to say who the best team in the state is.
Okay. I got you.
There's a blood drive tomorrow on the campus of T.R. Miller out front on the Huddle House side of the school from 8 to 2. That's being sponsored by the SGA there at T.R. Miller. Everybody who gives blood, a $10 donation will be given in your name, and they're taking that money to give to a middle school down in Panama City that was affected from Hurricane Michael.
Okay.
It's easy for us up here to think that the hard times have come and gone down there. We got a nice contribution to send down there for relief efforts. But I thought it was nice of the kids up there at Miller to want to help out a middle school. So once again, tomorrow, and we will make mention of this again tomorrow, blood drive at Terra Miller High School, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Everyone who gives a pint of blood, a $10 contribution will be made to the pot. And, of course, all that money is going to go to a middle school down in Panama City that is still having some hardship from Hurricane Michael.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do they, when they do something like that, like a blood drive or what have you, I mean, you say the money, they're taking donations as they're doing this type of thing? Or
I'm not sure who's putting up the $10 per pint. I don't know if it's an individual or an outside entity that's doing that. But if you go in there and plug up and let them get a pint, $10 more goes in the hat. And you get cookies and Coke afterward.
Hazel says it's coming in live from Big Sky, Montana.
-9.
-9 degrees.
-9.
Golly. That's second sandbar right there, Chef
Yes,
Adam
sir.
said. That'd be rough this morning. Be rough any morning.
Jennifer Parker, this was after the semifinal game, posted a real cool video on the BMP Sports Network page of Richard Manry. I don't know if that name means anything to you. He was a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
He was a man. Richard Manry was a man.
I saw that.
And he went down and sought out Chase to congratulate him on a block that he had in the game that he had played. And that was cool because Richard Manry, I'm telling you, if you talk about the Mount Rushmore of football players at Flomaton, the players.
He was it.
Richard Manry's one of them. He might be front and center. He was a stud.
I'll tell you the two people that I wish had been here to see that, and they'd have griped about it the whole way up there, but they'd have loved it the whole way back, and that's Guy Sawyer and Anthony Davison.
Well, think about Jerry Carpenter sitting right there with them, long-time coach.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, Donnie Roch was in there with them.
Oh, yeah.
They had a big time with it.
Guy Sawyer,
Coach Cott would have been there, too.
he definitely would have been there. Definitely. Rob did a great job. I want to talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, did you see the post from Allison Stoffel?
Yes. That's who I was watching more times than not.
Did you see where she said that she got approached and told if she didn't stop streaming the game that it was, and I'm taking maybe a little paraphrasing here, but something to the effect it could hurt Flomaton. It could, they could fine them or what have you and all this kind of stuff. And so she stopped the stream.
Yeah. Did they tell everybody else there that was doing it?
I want to go on record as saying this, okay? And I think DJ will back me up on this because I've shown him this, and we were hit with this some years ago.
Yes, we were.
I had a great conversation with a young man from the Alabama High School Athletic Association, and at the end of the conversation went something like this.
Well, bye.
But we were going to go up and do a baseball game for no money again. But because we were a entity, didn't know it at the time, we were told we could not do that unless we had the proper credentials and the proper and we had paid the proper
Gave Steve Savarese his money.
Yeah. So the fact is, we didn't do it because we were told we could. So I, being me, decided I'm going to go and scour through that website, and I'm going to see exactly what the rule will say. Well, let me tell you what the website says. And I'm paraphrasing, but you can go check this out if you want to. Nobody could have come over there and said anything to that girl because on the website it says that if it's personal and personal use, which was on her personal page, she wasn't being paid for it. Guess what? She was as legal as all the rest of them in there that had a phone up doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So my question is this, and maybe I'm going out on a too much of a tangent here, and if I am, I'll shut up. But my question is this: why was what she was doing so bad when probably 4,500 other people in the stadium were doing something like that somewhere.
Well, her broadcast, even though she was not announcing it, was better than that garbage NFHS has out.
I was about to say her broadcast was from the week before was better.
Yeah.
Okay. When Florenton blocked that it was a field goal. Yeah, field goal down to win the game, the end of the game. So that was I tell you what, Jessica, mate, that's a great idea. Why don't we call that guy on the phone one
I
morning?
would love it.
Let's get him on the phone and see if he can't explain to us, since he explained to me so well about 4 or 5 years ago. I'd like for him to explain it again. So he's going to do it this time live.
I would love that.
I'm going to do that.
I would love it.
Matter of fact, I'm going to call him today.
I tell you mentioned Rob Moy, and he did a good job, supplying a lot of videos and pictures and things of that nature.
Good morning, Naomi Lindsay.
I'll tell you something that was one of his battle cries that I have fallen in love with. He refers to Flomaton as F count. I love that.
F count.
F count. I love it. I love it. F count.
I like that. F count. That is good.
I love that.
Yeah, that's good.
F camp in the house.
I was just curious as to, they took someone else's phone from streaming. Well, I tell you what, Kimberly.
I'd like to know who that person is that gave their phone
I'd like to know who that is, too, because I would like to hook them up with a pretty good attorney. Matter of fact, I got a good attorney. Because I can tell you right now, they're going to be in a lot. The High School Athletic Association probably wouldn't like that letter from that attorney when that happens.
Steve Savarese and his Gestapo.
Yeah, that's what it is. They liable to try.
You're going to give me that phone.
They liable to try to shut us down.
Okay.
For sitting out here talking about it.
But we'll pay them.
Talking about that Dan dude. Is that's what Heather Godwin said. Dan. I don't know. I thought Dan was the president before Savarese.
Savarese is the head cheese.
Yeah, but what Dan wasn't
some Scott guy.
He was Coach Cotton's buddy. I can't think of what his name is. But anyhow, we had a run in with that guy, and I don't think I would imagine that guy was walking around Jordan Hare taking phones from people. How are you going to do that with 10,000 people in the stadium to watch the Thompson Central Phoenix City game? They said they sold 7,700 e-tickets for that game.
Really?
7,700.
Wow.
So that was a record. But my question is, how do you go in there and take phones from everybody that
you don't?
You can't. Number one, their own rules say they can't. If it's for personal use, there's nothing they can do.
What's the difference between doing that and somebody having a more traditional video camera out trying to get a keepsake for their kid?
None. I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And their own website talks about that in depth. So,
Wild, Wild West.
I'd like to know who that was got their phone took from them. Somebody want to drop me a message and send me who that was. I'd sure like to talk to them. We could have us a pretty good conversation. I've said for years, all you had to do is show up. If you want to make a statement, show up with the tripod and a guy sitting next to with a headset on, and do it from the bleachers, and call the game from the bleachers and watch what happens. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to be set up for a fight because you fix to get in a fight.
Yeah. I appreciate Pup putting this up. Robert E. Lee, the boys basketball team. The head coach is Bryant Johnson.
That's right.
Our very own BJ Johnson, West End, Alabama, is going to be at Hillcrest tomorrow playing the Jaguars. He's bringing Robert E. Lee to Hillcrest. That's going to be a good basketball game.
Yes. Wow. That's crazy.
I can get my schedule clear, I'm going to go watch that. I'd love to go watch BJ in action. He was a 7A Coach of the Year. It was either 2 or 3 years ago.
PGP wants to know, is drive time personal or business use? It's free to the public, so is it a business? Well, I mean, here's the thing. Drive time is not a business. Bossman Productions is a business. I guess if we went up there and did it under drive time and didn't say anything about Bossman Productions, then it's not a business.
Yeah.
Have you ever been paid a dime for this show?
Never. Drank a lot of water. Had some good snacks.
I mean,
winning.
I hadn't either.
I've been compensated.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, we've ate real good, and we're not like begrudging.
I'm willing to call it even.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about answering PGP's question. Yeah. So I mean, it is public. So I guess but is it a business? I don't know. It's definitely nonprofit. So I don't know how you'd say that. What would you look at him? Tell him, say, would you plant you a flag down behind you that says nonprofit? NPO? Nonprofit organization?
Tell it to the hand.
Yeah.
Tell it to the hand. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Well, maybe so, but it's a nonprofit on it. Yeah, that's right. I agree with that. It's a nonprofit in its truest form. So I think we could probably get away with it for at least 10, 15 minutes.
Be fun to try.
Yeah. I mean, but now let me ask you this. If you go in there under press credentials, I guess what you'd have to do is pay that $10 to get on in.
Yeah, probably.
You probably have to pay to go on in. And I wonder what they'd ask you about that backpack when you walked up. Tripod hanging out of it. And,
sir? Oh, what?
Can you carry stuff like that into those games? I don't think you can at like college games, can you?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I wonder if you can at the Super 7.
Maybe we should find out.
I tell you what you could do. You could go get you a bunch of IP cameras. You could set them up all over Jordan-Hare. And then every time they think they beat it in on one, just swap it to the next one. They'd be hunting all day. They'd never find it. You'd be able to do the whole game. They'd be chasing cameras the whole time.
Chasing it all day long.
Yeah. There's an argument there to say y'all are personal use. How about that, DJ?
I like the way she's thinking.
I mean, wouldn't that be something in the middle of the 3A championship next year and we're up there fighting?
Of course, this game's going to change drastically at next year's SEC Media Days.
Yes. Forgot about that.
I'm going to get cuffed and stuffed.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make my point.
Let me tell you something. We're waiting on the lanyards to come in right now. We're going to be like Wayne's World. You remember when Wayne and Garth went out there? They walked up, the backstage passes. Everybody they walked up to them. Yeah. We're waiting on them to come in. No, because you have to have a clear bag when you walk in, when you went into Jordan-Hare. Well, we could put it in a clear backpack. How about that? And that they specifically state that if you're a student organization that's filming the game, you can do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then we could get up under that umbrella, I believe.
It says it. You can video the game, stream it
live.
That's what it says.
With no delay.
That's what it says.
Okay. Well, that's easy then.
My thing is this: no matter what you do, you better have you a good lawyer in the corner because it's fixing to break loose when that happens.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be in a fight then. You're going to bring in the Constitution. There's going to be a lot of things get brought up into that fight. And I can assure you it's going to take some money to go up against that, what'd you call them, the Gestapo in Montgomery? Mm-hmm. But it's all fair. How many state championships has UMS won now?
7, maybe 6, 7.
I can't lie to you. The fact that they were playing Deschler and that they beat them 52-0, I was pulling for UMS. I can't lie.
Yeah.
And that comes from 1990.
Sure.
At that, from that year and that game, and of course Miller ended up putting it on next year.
Yeah, we kind of took care of that the next year.
But there's still some wounds there.
Yeah, sure.
So how about that? PGP she's thought this out. Join the band boosters and do just about anything.
Well, there you go.
I like that. Hey, we're part of the band boosters and we're here for the band. And while we're here, we're going to just film the rest of this.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like that.
That works.
Raycom might have done it their last year covering the Super 7. Well, let me tell you this. I don't know if Raycom has anything to do with NFHS, but if they do, they need to stop.
Bad.
It was terrible.
Bad product.
It was terrible.
Bad product.
I mean, and that woman who was down there playing Erin Andrews or whoever you want to call her on the sideline, her skills on the microphone were terrible.
Bad product.
I mean, it was just awful. I mean, it just wasn't good at all. They flew the eagle. Did you see that?
Speaking of, I saw that. I saw an eagle Thursday when I was hunting.
You know, they were around here.
I was, it took me aback when I saw it, but it was definitely an eagle, the white-headed eagle.
Bald eagle.
Yeah. Had that, I mean,
like flying or
yeah, he was soaring. Like he was not. He was at a relatively. He was not real high. I got a good look at him. I mean, I could see the yellow on the
his beak.
beak.
Oh, you got a real good look at him.
Yeah. That was cool.
I'm just glad one of those
Wasn't a big one.
One of those dog hunters didn't decide to take a pop shot.
I tell you, he was right there in the range where you might could have got some pellets in him if you'd have chosen to.
I wouldn't want to do that.
No.
Ask T-Bone about Deschler. Pup said. Yeah, he could probably tell us a few things about that game. So could a lot of people. So I ain't gonna lie, that didn't hurt me at all. That Deschler got just handed to him like that.
Yeah, they got it handed to him.
Yeah, they did.
It was painless.
Yeah, they did.
It was painless.
Now, so is Deschler? I mean, does that say a whole lot for the North football that Deschler gets blown out like they did in the playoffs? Like, I mean, in the big game like that.
It does, but once again, you're going against a hand-picked all-star team. It's just tough.
How about that? Donald Thompson says UMS 8 championships since '87.
Okay.
Wow.
You know what they had prior to '87?
Zero. Yeah. I tell you this.
What's changed? Man, those kids on O'Shell Road have.
But I tell you this.
Really got more athletic,
I every year I was in school. We played UMS. I thought they beat the crap out of them.
No, we had when I was there, we had very competitive games with them. Very competitive. I mean, they were good. Well, that's back when they were legitimate. When they were kids K through 12 had been there the whole time. I mean, they were good.
Back when they had the wooden bleachers over there.
Yeah, they were good. They were good. They weren't never got it done in terms of winning the blue map, but they were a tough out.
Yeah. I just, I'll tell you, it seems like, in this, what do they call it? Where they move you up, into the next classification. Mm-hmm. If you dominate.
That's St. Paul's.
Yes. They got moved up.
Yeah.
And UMS, not next year, but the next will be moved up. Is that correct?
Say that again.
UMS will be moved up year after next to 5A.
They'll go to 5A, yeah.
And they're actually a 3A school.
Number-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
But they're playing in 4A because they're a private school. And then they're going to have to bump up again because they've dominated. I mean, how many years do they consider dominating? Like, what is the standards of that?
I don't know if you have to win one, if you have to win more than one, if you have to win so many in so many years. I don't know.
I didn't know
I don't know, but I know when they moved, who was the Kerryon Johnson played there? What was the private school in Huntsville that won it?
Golly. They talked about it during
they won in 3A. They won the football, basketball, and baseball 2 years in a row. All of them.
They bumped them.
And they've gone to 4A, and you haven't heard from them since.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. How long do you have to stay in above you?
I don't know.
I
just think that they're making, just put them all in one. Put them all in 7A. Or put them all in, it doesn't matter. They just should be, if you want to have a private school, and if you want to recruit and go play the big boys and get all of it you want, and let these neighborhood teams duke it out for legitimate championships. It's a real sore spot with me.
Yeah.
I'll go back to a couple of years ago when WS Neal had the great baseball season. Those kids on that team had played together since they were 5 years old. It was not a hand-picked team. It was just one of those magical times when there was so many good players in the same age group, and they get up there in
Madison
Academy. And they get up there and they lose to Trinity or whoever it was in Montgomery. Should have got it done. Should have won the thing anyway, but they didn't. They were playing against a hand-picked team, and then, of course, that team went on and won the state championship, and it's just, there's nothing right about it.
No, I mean, it's definitely unfair playing field.
Yeah.
So that's why I was curious. Check that out and see for tomorrow, like what the standard is on that. Because I know you can probably find that a lot faster than most. But I mean, I don't know what if you move up, you have to stay there 2 years. You have to stay there 4 years. You have to a recount, or you have to not dominate that for 2 years. Or
Georgiana runs into it every year. If you've never watched Georgiana play basketball, even if you're not a basketball fan, you have missed a treat. The same guy coaches the girls team, the B team, and the A team. And he does a wonderful job coaching all three. He does not take a game off. It's not like that he's low energy in the girls game and the B team game. He coaches the crap out of them. Right. I mean, he goes in there for a 6-hour block and he coaches basketball. They are great. And every year they get to the finals, they play Sacred Heart, who's a private school, and get beat by 20.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just wrong. I mean, Georgiana's a very small community. Those from around here know that. And they're not playing on a level playing field. I mean, these are guys from a country town who are playing an all-star team every year.
Now, is that just private schools that get bumped up? Or is that's not public? The public schools, that does not apply to a public school. That only applies to the private schools. Mm-hmm. And you're saying dump all the private schools in the 7A pot and let them all have at it.
Just go have at it. It don't matter if your enrollment's 100 or 1,000.
You're not talking about the schools like Escambia Academy that play in the
they play in the private school league. I'm not talking about them. I'm about the ones who want to play public school ball. Go pick your players and go play for it all.
Who decided that it was okay for private schools to play public school ball?
The people making the money. It's all about the money.
Well, right. Yeah. But I'm saying UMS obviously was playing that back in the 80s. I'm saying that had to be decided way back then.
Yeah, well, they do the deal now where they have the multiplier. Where I think in a private school, each kid counts as a kid and a half towards your total numbers, which puts you in a designation.
That's right.
Oh, it's so easy to manipulate those numbers. I mean, are you going to tell me that if you could pick up a guy like Tua and he's going to count 1.5, would you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you what, count him as 4.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care what you count him as. Just let him be on my team.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Ashley Moore said in cross country and track, private schools can train year round. Public schools cannot.
Yeah.
Train only a few weeks as a team a year.
Yeah.
So private schools have no rules when it comes to all this, and public schools do.
Yeah.
But they play by a different set of rules.
And of course, this conversation, in my opinion, doesn't have an end. But like Bayside, I think their girls volleyball team had won 12 in a row. But yet, it's a level playing field.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I mean, they had won.
No, we have not, Naomi. We will later on this week at one of the stores. We're gonna do it and present it to the winner. So that'll be one day this week.
We have a winner.
Yes, we do.
We are checking and rechecking and verifying the numbers. We have a third party coming in, looking at all the sheets. We have everything just to verify. And then we will make that announcement later in the week, and certainly looking forward to that. That's exciting.
Well, I know one thing. I got some homework to do because I want to find out what that guy's name is that I spoke with 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, I know it.
Okay. What is it? Just where I can remember.
Ron Ingram.
That's it. That's him.
Oh, I know.
Mr. Ingram. I need to call Ron here this afternoon and see what he says and what he says about people getting phones took away from them and that kind of thing.
There's only been a couple of times where I wish I'd have gotten a FaceTime phone call, and that was one of them.
I can tell you this.
Pitch in your voice.
I can tell you this. I was that joker had me mad that day.
He done hit a nerve.
I mean, yeah.
And I love how big your eyes get when you get
that joker got me mad though,
enough.
man. The reason, I mean, and the fact is, it'd been different if he'd wanted to talk about it. He wanted to talk to me like I was work for him or something. Told him, I said, man, you don't know how quick I'll jump in a car and drive to Montgomery, and me and you can talk about this face to face.
I'll tell you something else that we've missed on today. We had a lot to catch up on, and last week, our family member, Sherry Weaver's father, passed away. He had been sick for quite some time, and they had battled that and passed away. And of course, we sent her some private messages, but I know all the Drive Time family rallied around her and have kept that family close in prayer and will continue to do so. That's even though he was probably not going to get better, it's tough. That's a tough deal.
Sure. And I tell you something else. Raj Palmer, he says here, prayers for the family of Eva McBride. Her daughter was at the parade handing out flyers, and I hope they find some closure to that soon. I did see an alert this morning that a body had been found along the Escambia River.
Really? I didn't see that.
I did this morning. I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't see any
Is that close
details.
to the area where?
Well, that's what they call the Conecuh River, all going down through that area down there.
Okay.
Is the Escambia River.
Okay.
I'm assuming once it gets down south of maybe, the Pollard or that area.
Yeah.
You know, so. Anyway, tough deal, and hope they find her well. And been some cold nights, raining cold nights.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, what else is going on? We I know tomorrow's Top 5 Tuesday, and I know that yeah, you know, we definitely want to keep Susie Collins and her family and you know, prayer and keep praying for those as well. And yeah, it starts at, they call it the Scambia River in Florida.
Okay.
But I think that Century, Fulmerton, you know, they call it whatever. So
Same body of water.
same body of water, yes. But anyway, so tomorrow's Top 5 Tuesday. What else is going on this week? You said tomorrow's also the blood drive.
Blood drive at the high
Miller?
school on the Huddle House side. Each pint of blood will contribute $10 to a middle school in Panama City that is still in disarray from Hurricane Michael. That's sponsored by the Tigger Miller SGA. So get out and support that if you can.
All right, DJ, we got to get out of here, man. It flies by when you're having fun. We hadn't done it in a while.
It's been a great Monday. It's certainly been great being back with everybody. Look forward to doing it again. If you have some time to waste tomorrow morning, be here. We certainly plan to be. I want to thank Jim Peach Motors and Pete Chevrolet for making it all possible. Y'all have a great day and get plenty of pineapple juice. Love y'all.
You've been listening to Drive Time with DJ and KJ. Brought to you by Bossman Productions. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and WBOSS, The Boss.